Hello, my name is Jorge Dovalina, and today we're going to be going briefly over Armonía Etude number 1, made by Adolfo Estrada, Dr. Adolfo Estrada, on the Vihuela. We start off this Habanera Etude with a D minor rasgueado half note, followed by another half note on a B flat 7. And then the next measure, we have a half note followed by 2 quarter notes and an E7, A7, B flat 7, all in rasgueados, the first 2 measures, followed by the third measure of a whole note and A7, just single downstrum. This is all in pianissimo, in a tempo of 90 beats per minute. For the second line, or measure 4, we speed up by 10 clicks to the tempo of 100 beats per minute. We have a dotted half note followed by a rasgueado eighth note to a quarter note. So it'd be what I like thinking about there is a sort of chotis, dum bum. And we have that in piano for the chords of D minor, repeats. So D minor, A7, D minor, E minor 7 flat 5, which is this, A7. And then we have, on measure 9, we have the progression of D minor major 7, D minor 7. So into triplets and G minor 7 and E7. So quarter note triplets. We have the A flat 9, to that A7. Then measure 12, we speed up 11 clicks to 111, and we are in a chord of F with we also start with a dotted rest quarter note, dotted quarter rest. So and that first eighth note, the first system of an eighth note by the quarter note is the same as measure 4, or that second line in the etude, but now we have on the and of 4, we have a quick snapped up. And we have that for the chords of F, C7, F, C7, and in that last one, we go straight into beat 1 rasgueado dotted quarter note, which follows through all of line 5, or measure 16 through measure 19 of. And we only have rasgueado for that first note on measure 16. After that, the rasgueado does not apply. So going from measure 15 to 16 would sound something like. So that same rhythm of would apply for that whole line, 16 through 19. And in the chords of B flat to C7, B flat minor to C7, F major 7 to A minor 7, E minor 7 to A7, and then measure 20, we change to an eighth note to followed by a quarter note, eighth note, quarter note to a quarter note for the beat, and it would be something like. And we have D minor to F7 for measure 20. Then the following 2 measures have the same rhythmic notation, except the 4th beat is a roll. So Measure 21 would be measure 21 and 22. And that would be G to D minor 7 and B flat to A7. And then we have, for measure 23, we have an eighth note to a quarter note, eighth note, quarter note, and 2 eighth notes. And the chords of D minor major 7, D minor 7. And this repeats to the end of page 1, where we have a D minor 6, whole note rasgueado. But for measures 23 through measures 26, we have the same rhythmic pattern, same chords, just different manicos, different up and down of the hand. So we start out with all downs in the measure 23. So measure 24, we're going down to a mezzo forte, all the way to a pianissimo at the end of the last measure of the first page. But for measure 24, we have down up, down up, down up. And then we have, for measure 25, it switches to a down up, down, to measure 26, down, up, down, up, to the A minor 6 rasgueado. So going from measure 23 to measure 27, the end of the page would sound something like this. Going on to the second page, we switch to a Guajira style in the key of B flat. So we start B flat, F7. Then we go, so we have eighth note, quarter note, eighth note, quarter note, quarter note, tied into a whole note for the next measure. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. We have that same pattern with down stop and a up eighth note tied into a dotted quarter note for measures 30 and 31. For measure 31, that eighth note tied into that dotted quarter note, D7, would be followed by an and on an A minor 7 and eighth note to and of 3, D7, followed by 4 and eighth notes on G. So it'd be something like this, going from measure 30 to 32. Right? And then measure 32, we have the Guajira style, G on G, C, and D7, which would be down, up, stop, down, up, stop, down, up, stop. And that repeats. Then we switch to something similar in the key of, and the chords of B flat, E flat, and F7. But it switches in the end of measure 34 and the second half or second 2/3 of measure 35 to having those down stops to two redobles. So it'd be and that repeats. And now we go to measure 36, which we have a D flat 7, a G flat 7, an A flat 7, back to that G flat 7, all in the pattern of that repeats. Then we go into quarter note triplets on E6, so A, 6. So for measure 39, we have a B7, C diminished 7, C sharp minor 7. So, and for those measures 39 and 40, all the way to the end, 41 as well, has that same rhythmic pattern of. And for the end of measure 41, we go into fortissimo to a downstrung E whole note or half note, and measure 42, the end of the first armonia etude.